I don't think it's something many people think about. I think in our city it's a little more hidden.
One homeless person, one homeless individual, one homeless family is a problem.
I mean, a lot of people get the wrong idea of homeless people. Well, they're just bums, which is not true.
We got to try something new. The other ideas have not worked.
Kind of get down to the bottom of it. How do we help solve some of these issues for individuals?
You're living on the streets, under bridges, and you basically lost your life.
A community as a whole needs to come together.
I think it was high time to stop talking, stop having ideas, and say, let's get the decision makers at the table and let's move forward.
If I said, absolutely, I think I can do this.
They basically saved my life by getting me into this program. All right, my name is Chris. I've been homeless for quite a while, a lot within the past 10 years. It's going very good for me because this is something that I've never had in the past. Basically, I was incarcerated a couple times, and here and there. When I was released, I was always back on the street. I never had any place to go. With Eric and Monica's help, they basically saved my life by getting me into this program.
Since November 1st in shelter, we've seen over 51 unduplicated homeless clients enter through our doors seeking shelter. And it's taking people in this community collaborating together to try to combat the issue.
The Housing Task Force is a group of community leaders that have been brought together to try and put some clear objectives and strategies behind how we're going to solve the homelessness issue. Because homelessness isn't just a person is unhoused and we need to find them a house. Kind of get down to the bottom of it. How do we help solve some of these issues for individuals? And that is mental health, it's substance abuse, it's maybe just not having access to the right resource at the right time. What we focus on is increasing outreach case managers that can reach out, doing what Eric Lemerand is doing.
Michael Loy from the Healthcare Center, who's the CEO, talked to Chief Bliven and said, I will provide a case management person or a caseworker if you can provide an officer to do this basic street outreach of going down there and talking to people face to face, finding out what their story is, seeing how we can apply those resources to them to help resolve their problem.
As my boss had put it, was building the plane as we're flying it, because this is a completely new territory for, well, all of us involved. Definitely scary. I was also very excited. Eric and I have a passion for helping people. That's what we want to do.
Their experience has often been with police officers in a negative context, that we're there because we're addressing a complaint. We're really trying to approach them in a new fashion now, that with reassigning some of our staff to just give full-time care and concern to engaging with these individuals, to earn their trust and build relationships with them, because we know that that's the key to ultimately them accepting help that's being offered to them.
As they've gone through life and gone through their homelessness, one of the things they've lost a lot of is trust with people. As you can imagine, if you're on your own facing the world, at some point you can go, you know what, I've just got to do it myself. I can't depend on people.
We have hope in them, we have faith in them, and we continue to build them up, because they've been cut down a lot, so to be built up and hey, you can do this and we're right here with you.
You have a uniformed officer standing before you saying, with a handout saying, I would like to help you. Hey, this organization is not here to punish me. They're here to help me, and wow, that's kind of interesting, and maybe I do want to find out more.
For somebody to be there constantly and continue to help them through, hey, where are you at and what do you want for yourself? How can we help you get there? Being there with them, listening to their stories, listening to their concerns and what they wanted for their lives. They all have their very own unique situations.
I've never had people like that in my life. That's why I'm so grateful to be here.
Having them out there and being with the people is literally a game changer for this community. I think we're going to see, and we already have seen, success on what they're out there doing and accomplishing. And I just think that without them, we would not be taking any steps further at all. We'd actually probably be either stagnant or even taking a few steps backwards.
Many of them haven't seen doctors in a long time. I'm that person that's making those phone calls.
While I was in treatment, they were bending over backwards for me to get all this ready for me. And they've done everything that you could think of. What they're giving me are things that I would have to try and figure out to get in for 2 years. And this all happened to me overnight, and And like I said, I'm very grateful for that.
And so as we start to identify gaps, like, okay, here's a gap, which is the 24/7 comprehensive rehabilitation program. How do we launch that? Who wants to own that? And so then you see the partnership between North Central Healthcare and the Wausau Police Department pop up, right? And talking about a house where we can shelter individuals until we can get them into a rehabilitation program. You know, this really is to give them their basic needs and living essentials while we try to find the next step for them.
The issue is that when you're homeless and you're trying to stay sober, it's almost non-existent. You can't.
We don't expect them to be perfect or to have all their issues resolved in order to be in this house, but it at least allows them a place to be safe and feel like they have a home while we help them on this already anxious journey through recovery.
From there, you know, I can go to my doctor's appointments, I can get my license, I can, if I want to further my education, if I want to find work, everything builds from there.
Actually, my favorite was just walking in the door here. I had the greatest feeling in the world when I came in here. I just wish, like I said, I wish there were more homes like this for people like me that were out there.
When you say a pilot, I mean, this is one house right now where we have limited capacity. Use that as a model. And if it works, that's the hope, is that we find other opportunities to expand that model.
In thinking about this residence for these people, I said, okay, what are we gonna need? Well, first of all, we're gonna need beds, because it's something that's very basic too. I reached out to Verlo and said, hey, here's what I'm doing. Would you guys be interested in partnering with me?
This community is amazing. When you ask, they step up. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've been brought to tears in the shelter setting.
And they donated our first 5 beds, twin beds, nothing fancy, but it'll help. We would like to have them at least take the bed with them, because it's kind of another token of look how far I've come, and an award for trying and for their effort. Okay, now you have a bed. So although you may be done with this step, as you move into the next step, you can take your bed with you.
Gosh, in one word, impressive. Completely and utterly impressed with the work that these individuals have done.
I would say we have shown successes in this program. Enough successes to prove its value to the community, to the organizations, most importantly to the individuals.
Oh yeah, there are days where I kind of want to shed a tear, and he wants to call me daily to just check in and how are you doing? I'm doing great, you know. He wants to tell me how good he's doing, and it's, I'm gonna cry. Okay, we're good.
I know he probably walks away from it feeling defeated a lot of the time, because, you know, you talk to him one day and the next day they're doing the polar opposite of what you just talked about the day before. But he's making such an impact, and he just doesn't even know it yet.
The second gentleman was so gracious for the help that he got himself sober into a sober shelter while he waited for us to say, okay, today's the day you get to go to treatment. The amount of pride that I experienced at that moment was, I really can't put into words, but it was a phenomenal feeling, almost over emotional.
There was so many times, you know, I opened my eyes, I was under a bridge, and I kept saying, God, I don't want to die like this. And basically that's what I did, make a decision and say to myself, I don't want this life anymore. I'm not going to be a statistic. I struggled all the way. I didn't want to do it. And I did leave, and I ended up walking down the street and just changed my mind and came back and made a decision for myself that I wanted this. All you could do is carry the message, you know, and they need to step up to the plate, you know. Finally, I stepped up to the plate, and, you know, I'm doing it now. It's never too late either. You know, don't ever think it's too late, because it's not.
I say, okay, look at these guys. Look at these guys who have everything to lose, who are willing to raise their hand and say, pick me. At the start, you go, can I do this? Can I make this kind of an impact in the community? And I'm hopeful that with the work that Monica and I have done as a team, the community sees what that effort looks like and what the results can be, and to go, okay, that's an investment we want to make. This is important, and we want to do it full time, not just as some sort of initiative or pilot program.